This is a story about time. The Georgia General Assembly's time this year is winding down. Backs are being slapped, arms are being twisted, laws are being made. Soon it will all be a memory. But there was one memory about the Georgia General Assembly, and it has an Augusta angle. It was the last day of a session on reapportionment. The hour was late, and the forces of Governor Carl Sanders appeared to be on the verge of winning the day. In fact, a Capitol workman had stopped the clock in the chamber so the governor, an Augustan, could address the assembly and make his points before the clock and the day and the session ran out. But State Representative Denmark Groover was having none of that. The Macon lawmaker, who had seen action in World War II with the famous Black Sheep Squadron, raced to the House balcony, hooked a leg and arm over the railing, and reached for the clock to try his own hand at political time management. He failed. But Groover's effort actually dislodged the clock from the nail that it was sitting on. He tried, he said later, to grab the cord, but that slipped too. It crashed to the floor, startling everybody. The governor, the lawmakers, reporters, everybody, with a great crash. Bob Cohn, Atlanta bureau chief for the Augusta Chronicle, took a photograph that showed Mr. Groover stretched horizontally over the balcony rail, reaching for the clock and looking like someone posing for Michelangelo. The Sistine Chapel meets the Three Stooges. When Denmark Groover died a couple of years ago, he was not remembered for the clock incident. He was remembered for the years of legislation that he put through the Georgia General Assembly. Denmark Groover could easily disable the weaker efforts of legislators who crossed his path while crafting legislation of his own that needed little defending. When he decided to put these considerable talents into a piece of legislation, his colleagues said the bill had been, quote, Grooverized. When a politician's name becomes a verb form, we may assume he has arrived. And then he passed. Like many lawmakers, Denmark Groover lives on, not only in the laws that he helped craft, but also for a very famous photo taken by an Augusta reporter. Maybe he shows us that you can't stop time, but if you're a good enough lawmaker, you can affect the future.